Previously, we discussed digitally working together and what digital technologies mean for projects. But how big is this trend of digital transformation? It is here to stay. And what does it mean for project activities? We are witnessing continuous change at an unprecedented pace, moving from analog to digital, from working with pen and paper to using computers and digital models. We have new input and output devices that help us visualize information and designs that are not anymore stored in paper media, but in computers, tablets, and easily accessible anywhere in the world through web-based and cloud-based applications. Creating models of reality is done in a new way. For example, in architecture, the previous laborious effort of creating handmade models with cardboard and glue has now been substituted by easily creating models from composite materials, for example chalk or plastic, using 3D printers. And of course, this does not stop here in model making. It is even possible to create livable spaces using large-scale 3D printers that use sustainable materials, for example, rammed earth or concrete, and create structural elements and walls that address sheltering needs of different communities. The digital technologies become increasingly relevant and advanced and enter our lives, affecting many aspects of it. This increase of advanced digital technologies is due to, first, better computer infrastructure and more reliable computer power. Second, better internet connectivity, such as 5G networks to support web-based and cloud-based applications. Third, lots of pervasive devices, for example, mobile headsets, drones, unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, etc. Fourth, increasing connected technologies and the potential of physical and digital to become blended with blurry boundaries among them. Advanced digital technologies are becoming increasingly interconnected, blending the physical and digital realities. Virtual reality devices such as goggles and headsets allow us to see virtual worlds of digital representations and how things could be. Additionally, augmented reality devices allow us to augment our view of the real world with additional information overlays through digital information given through tablets, phones, and other devices. Mixed reality blends these two virtual and augmented reality technologies together. Now, I have been discussing a lot so far about new technologies. The key word here is new and novelty. This implies a lot of innovation. Innovation and novelty, they're closely related. But innovation is more than just the invention of a new idea or a new tool. Innovations are instead only considered valuable and truly innovative when they are exploited and when their benefits are realized. So why do we care about innovation when our topic here is project success? Well, projects and innovation, they have a much mutually reinforcing relationship. Historically, these two fields have emerged at similar times after World War II and followed parallel trajectories. Projects, on one hand side, they form the breeding grounds of innovation, as many innovations take place in projects, since projects are temporary and bring different people together with different skill sets, ideas, and knowledge. It is understandable then that projects are unique, fertile environments where new ideas and innovations can spark. Projects have long been considered the lifeblood of innovation by Randolph L. Posner, 1988. Today's project managers, they must create innovation to compete and succeed in their projects. On the other hand, innovation and innovation success really rely on a sound project. because innovation and the development of innovation takes place in a project approach, according to Senhar and Veer, 2007. Innovation has also a life cycle approach, such as Project Do. We can see this especially in new product development, or NPD, where new innovations are developed in a project approach. Essentially, innovations are delivered through projects. So projects are the delivery mechanisms and the organizational vessels that help us create new innovations. There is thus a mutually reinforcing circle here, which is important for grasping the full extent that these digital technologies and means are related to projects, but also the importance of projects. Innovation does not take place just behind closed doors of research and development or R&D departments anymore, like we know about R&D departments of the Apples and the Googles of this world. But instead, innovation is also a collaborative effort. In our research on mega projects in the United Kingdom, we showcased how projects can become niches of innovation, transforming society. Surprisingly, although these large-scale, very long in duration and temporary constellations are considered traditional, mega projects can too bring innovations out to the sector. For instance, in the Channel Tunnel project, which is connecting the UK to France, three-dimensional or 3D models and computer-aided designs were first implemented, not just for design, but also for quantity takeoffs. Later, in Heathrow Terminal 5 project, the integration of different actors and the use of a central database helped them to collaborate and to manage complex information. Crossrail, another mega project which is connecting the west and the east of London, is a long-standing project that started in a very analog way. But because of its longevity, overlapping with a lot of recent developments in the advancement of digital technologies in construction, it was delivered digitally. These infrastructure mega projects have seen the transition from analog to digital, integrating new technologies over time, from reconfiguring their ways, transforming their practices, and substituting their old routines with new ones. Innovation can come from top-down pressures, such as client demand, market demand, regulations, policies, but it can also arise from bottom-up initiatives, such as peer collaboration, grassroots initiatives, and open innovation. In reality, these trends may also meet in the middle, creating a very dynamic innovation landscape. But what's different now? We know innovation from many years ago, right? Digital innovation is unique and it's distinct because of the accelerated and continuous change we experience. Digital technologies are also increasingly connected and blended with the physical world. And this innovation involves not just new things, but also the recombination and exploitation of existing things or old things into new ways that can eventually deliver value and address current business needs. Now, let's place it all in context. We started discussing digitization as a move from the analog to digital, and that relates to mainly technical change and addressing operational needs. But of course, you have already heard before the term digitalization. So how is this different to digitization? Digitalization includes digitization, but also relates to how technologies are used, and it considers a wider context, the process and the people as well. Digitalization can be the basis of business model innovation because it can help bring new ways of developing projects together, for example, through partnerships with technology vendors or by creating technology spin-offs to address specific project needs. This eventually leads to the digital transformation, which is a broader and it has to do more with systemic change. Digital transformation is how digital technologies become strategic in structuring economies, institutions, and society during its adoption. So whenever you hear about digital transformation, it's all about this large-scale view of how innovation can change and create ripples through different levels of society. In wrapping up, digital transformation is here to stay. It is a key trend across many industries, affecting all aspects of project businesses. Digital transformation involves systemic change, restructuring economies, institutions, and society. And along it, it can bring opportunities and risks, redefining value chains, but also increasing competition. To summarize, digital transformation is a systemic change affecting all levels of society. It involves moving from analog to binary processes, incorporating digital technologies, and fundamentally changing how businesses and projects operate. Understanding and embracing digital transformation as a wide-level system change is crucial for success in today's fast-paced, interconnected world.